Sometimes silence feels louder than words, but the heart knows when it's time to speak. Breaking the silence is a way of healing, a way of reclaiming what was lost in the stillness. The distance that we created between us only intensified the feelings I tried to ignore. But now I realize that the most profound moments of growth come when we face the truth, no matter how hard it is. I've spent so much time trying to figure out the right time to reach out, but now I understand that waiting is only prolonging the inevitable. The time to reconnect is now. Whether it's healing or closure, I'm ready. In this silence, I've learned a lot about myself, but the moment has come to step beyond it, to break the walls we built, and face the feelings that have never truly gone away. I didn't know how much I missed you until the quiet made me face it. I've spent days wondering if I should reach out, and now I've decided silence can no longer speak for me. Sometimes the hardest part isn't staying away, it's finding the strength to break the silence when your heart is telling you something different from your mind. No contact has been a way to protect myself, but now I see it's also been a way of running. It's time to stop running and start facing the truths that are waiting to be revealed. The space we've had apart has only made my feelings clearer. I've spent enough time in my thoughts. Now it's time to hear your voice and see if our hearts are still in sync. I've been silent, not because I wanted to be, but because I wasn't sure how to make sense of what I was feeling. Now I'm ready to speak, to share what's been heavy on my heart. When you're apart, you often realize that distance doesn't heal all wounds. It only gives you time to think. I'm thinking now, and I know it's time to break this silence. The no contact rule was supposed to give us clarity, but all it's given me is more questions. My heart is ready for answers, for closure, or maybe for a new beginning. Silence only prolongs the inevitable. My heart has been calling out, and now I finally understand. Sometimes you have to break the silence to hear the truth you've been avoiding. It's amazing how quickly time passes when you're avoiding the truth, but now the truth is loud and it's undeniable. I have to reach out no matter the consequences. When we chose silence, we thought we were healing, but now it feels more like we've been waiting for something to change. Maybe what needs to change is us stepping back into the light. The longer we stay apart, the more I realize that silence can only hold us back. It's time to speak up, to express the emotions that have been buried for too long. I've spent so many sleepless nights wondering if this was the right thing to do, but today I know that healing only comes when you face what scares you the most. Every day without contact has been a day of reflection, and in this reflection, I've come to realize that breaking the silence is the first step toward understanding what truly matters. There's a certain kind of peace that comes with the silence between us, but there's also a yearning that can't be ignored. Maybe it's time to see if peace can coexist with reconnecting. Breaking the no contact rule feels like crossing a bridge you thought was broken, but sometimes the journey of healing begins when you step into the unknown. I've been carrying this burden in silence for so long, and now I know it's time to let go, to reach out, to say what I should have said a long time ago. The hardest part of silence is not knowing if the other person is waiting too. But silence doesn't answer questions, it only creates more. It's time to ask the question I've been avoiding. When you're apart, you realize how much you need to speak the things you never said. The silence is comforting, but it's not enough anymore. I need to hear your voice, and I need to be heard. There's no growth in running away from the feelings that still exist. The time has come to face what lies beneath this no contact situation and see if we can rebuild what was lost. The no contact rule was supposed to give us space, but now it feels like it's suffocating me. I'm breaking the silence because my heart can't take this distance any longer. It's strange how silence can feel so loud, but breaking it is even more terrifying. But sometimes the loudest truths come when you dare to speak them. In the stillness, I've found clarity, and in that clarity, I realize silence was never the answer. It's time to speak, to ask the questions I've been too afraid to voice. I've spent enough time in my head wondering if reaching out would make things worse. But now I understand that it's only through communication that we'll know what's truly possible.